Ian definitely was the greatest example, one of the greatest examples of appreciation of loving his job, loving people, and just being on the plane and just holding the job well. Like, I mean, doing it well, like of excellence.
This morning, we are hearing more from the friends and loved ones of the victims of the deadly midair collision in Washington, D.C.
But this morning, there's still so many questions about how this all happened. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand joins us live now from Washington. Natalie, first of all, how are things looking in D.C. this morning compared to yesterday?
Ron, Steph, you can probably see behind me traffic, passengers starting to get back to normal inside Reagan National Airport. But as for the recovery operation, that is still in process and will continue for days to come. That operation actually had to be suspended last night because it was simply too dangerous for dive teams to continue to enter that water. Once the operation turned from rescue and the potential for finding any survivors, once that shifted to recovery, crews had to kind of slow down and assess exactly what was in the water. So today we are expecting them to bring in more equipment to start to remove some of that heavy debris that's in the Potomac as they try to recover additional bodies from this devastating crash.
And Natalie, there was that statement from the president in the hours after the deadly crash. Let's take a listen.
It says FAA says people with severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they want them, they can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so.
So Natalie, what's been the reaction to the president's statements?
Well, a lot of pushback, and it was interesting. NTSB investigators who held a lengthy news conference of their own yesterday inside this airport say that it's the facts that are going to guide them, and that this is going to be a slow and meticulous process, and that you can't just point fingers or jump to conclusions right away. They have to go through all of the data that is available. The president was also referencing what CBS News has learned is a long-standing FAA policy that's actually posted on the agency's website since at least 2013, designed to ensure that the FAA was recruiting people for a variety of roles, including those who might have disabilities. So a lot of details to sort out with FAA policy, but I think from lawmakers to investigators on the ground, there was a lot of surprise and pushback that there was this kind of immediate finger pointing or trying to come up with a conclusion before the investigation has really even started. We know the NTSB, they are going to go through this in a very detail-oriented, meticulous way. They're expecting to issue a preliminary report within 30 days. But one thing I do want to note as more details are coming out is there will be focus on air traffic control staffing. At the time, shortly before the crash, we've learned that one person was handling helicopters and some of the planes here at Reagan. That's a job that's normally done by two people during that busy time period. So that's one thing that will be looked at, as well as information that's come to light that the American Eagle crew was told to change its landing route from one runway to another shortly before the crash happened. But again, it's so early, we kind of have to let this play out.
Play out step by step. Natalie Brand with new information for us this morning live in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much.